We are one. Yes, we are indeed. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to Living Truth 365. If this is your first time being here, I want to thank you for coming out this morning. It's a beautiful, crisp winter day. And I'm not going to really be up here long before you, but I really just I need to have some real talk with you today for just a little bit. So today is New Year's Eve. At 12 midnight, the new year begins, 2024. Can you believe that?
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
When you think about that, where did you think you'd be in 2024? What did you think your life would look like in 2024 and beyond? Are you living the life that you dreamed of? Now, let me qualify that because for some of you, you just might be living the life that you dreamed of because it's a nightmare. And you're living a nightmare. You're not living that wonderful, beautiful dream that you want to keep repeating over and over again. Yeah, you might just be living a nightmare. So, what I'm really asking you is, are you living? Are you enjoying? Are you experiencing? Are you being? Are you expressing and manifesting the life that you were created to fully demonstrate and to live on this earth plane? That's what I'm asking you. Because if you're not, then I want to ask you a question. What's holding you back? What's preventing you from living the life of your dreams right now? Not 2025, 2030, right now. What's preventing you from living your life with intention and purpose? What's preventing you from living your life, as we say here at Living Truth 365, living your life abundantly every day in every way? I think I got the answer for you. I believe I have the answer for you. It's barriers. It's your barriers that's standing between you and the life that you want to live. It's your barriers that are keeping you from your good. It's your barriers that you have to recognize as existing in your life. It's your barriers that you have to break through to achieve your goals. It's your barriers that if you're willing to do the work, you can break through them. But these are the main things that I want you to understand about your barriers. You have to recognize that you got a barrier. Then you can break through it. But you have to be willing to break through it. But then you have to be willing to do your work. Now, why am I calling them your barriers? Because you've taken ownership of them. You've accepted them. They're yours. They live rent-free in your mind. They belong to you. And you claim them by living and experiencing the manifestation of them in your life. See, I always say your life tells on you. Your barriers is telling on you. Your barriers, because I got my own. So I want to start by putting us all on the same page. That means I want to start with some definitions. I want us to look at the definition of this word barrier according to Mr. Webster. Mr. Webster says a barrier is something material that blocks or is intended to block passage. That's like a highway barrier, okay? Barrier on the highway, you can't pass it, Okay? Number 2, he says it's a natural formation or structure that prevents or hinders movement or action. Okay? A mountain, that could be a barrier, you know? But it's number 3 that I find interesting. He says it's something immaterial that impedes or separates. Immaterial that impedes or separates. See, I find that to be an interesting definition because I see that definition as being very metaphysical. And I'm going to break it down for you. Because metaphysically, barriers are the conscious and unconscious thoughts and feelings. That's that something immaterial. That's preventing, that's blocking, inhibiting us from becoming all that God created us to conceive, express, be, and experience. Barriers are the things that obstruct or limit your growth, your progress, and your development. That's whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, economically, socially, relationally, or otherwise. That's that impending stuff. And then barriers are the thoughts, the beliefs, the habits, the patterns that you have accepted that are out of alignment with God. Barriers are those things that make you feel separate and manifest as your divine and authentic self. You're unable to do that because you're disconnected from God. That's your barrier. That's that separation part. Because that's all in your mind. I'm separate from God. I'm disconnected. There's a beautiful quote that I want to share with you that says, "You are confined only by the walls you build yourself." That's an unknown author that gave us that quote. But I want to change that up. Because as I was writing that, something came from me and I was inspired by what he wrote. So I said, barriers are the mental walls you consciously and unconsciously build that confine and limit you. Your barriers. See, I've said this before and I'll say this again. Everything begins and ends in your mind. Therefore, all barriers begin and end in your mind. So any barrier that you create, that you accept, that you bring into your experience is created first and accepted mentally, whether that's consciously or unconsciously, before it begins manifesting in your experience. And to break through any barrier, you have to deconstruct it in your mind. And that takes willingness, strength, intention, focus, awareness, discipline, commitment, practice, contemplation, and self-examination. Woo! That's a lot of work. And for some of you, that's your barrier. You don't want to do the work. But doing the work, that inner work, is the only way that you're going to break through your barrier. There's no way else to do it. I can't do it for you. Your mama can't do it for you. You may have had a praying grandmother, but she can't do it for you. You got to break your own barrier. So how do barriers manifest in our lives? Barriers can manifest and show up in our lives as self-doubt, a lack of clarity, financial challenges, procrastination, self-sabotage, mistrust, unhealthy relationships with others and even with ourselves, negative energy, surviving instead of thriving, living paycheck to paycheck, a lack of self-confidence, poor time management, negative self-perceptions, a lack of accountability, victimhood, distractions, a lack of self-awareness, unnecessary drama and chaos, and an unwillingness to expand our consciousness. Did I hit anybody with any of those?
Toes. That's all over.
In real terms, they manifest and show up in your lives when you are distracted by the TV or social media instead of doing something that you know you're supposed to be working on. You run around all weekend, and when Monday comes, you're exhausted and you're running on empty. Maybe you're too busy looking after everybody else to find time to take care of yourself. What about if you second guess every decision that you make and you find that you have missed opportunities and other blessings that were meant for you? Your life is unbalanced and it's out of order. Or how about it's another lonely Friday and you're sitting on the sofa eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream and anything else that you can shove in your mouth instead of going out and developing meaningful relationships with others? Or what about if at the end of each month you find that you have more month than money? Or how about the piles of paperwork and clothes or other clutter is keeping you from enjoying your space at home? That's how it shows up for some of us. But then again, it's your barriers. So what are some limiting beliefs behind the manifestations that are created by those barriers? So let me tell you this. The primary limiting belief behind our barrier, it's fear. Fear. Fear may show up as a belief in evil, feelings of unworthiness, and inability to trust, the belief in lack and limitation, the belief in sin, the belief in victimhood, the belief that somebody else can make you happy or unhappy, the belief that something can make you happy or unhappy, the belief in separation, the belief that you can't control your emotions, the belief in loss, or the belief in duality. But the ultimate barrier for many of us, I'm going to say the ultimate barrier for all of us, is the non-belief and our identity and our power as a divine spiritual being. So let me just tell this to you, real talk. This means that you do not believe that you are powerful and that you are a divine spiritual being, created in the image and likeness of God. You don't truly know, understand, and embody the fact that you are spirit, that you are divine. Now, why do I say that? Because if you did, barriers would not exist for you. It's a beautiful quote that I like by Maxwell Maltz. He says, within you right now is the power to do things you never dreamt possible. This power becomes available to you just as soon as you can change your own beliefs. See, many of us have been listening to and telling ourselves and believing a lie. Let me say that again, because I don't think y'all really heard what I said. I said many of us have been listening to, telling ourselves, and believing a lie. So what is that lie? It's the belief that you are separate from God. You believe that God is God and you are you. You believe that you're only human, therefore you're powerless. You can't do anything about your challenges or your circumstances. Only God can do something for you. Only God can help you. You're a poor human. But that belief is a lie. And it's a lie of great impact and significance. Because all of the other barriers that you have created are a manifestation of that one main belief. So now we know what the lie is. Now, what's the truth? The truth is there is now and can never be a barrier in, through, or as God. Because there is no barrier in God. Doesn't exist anywhere. Can't exist there. Because it's God. Because God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So how and where could a barrier ever exist? And the power and the presence and the knowing intelligence of God. It can't. Can anybody tell me where it can exist in God? It can't exist. And so the truth is, you are a divine expression of God. And all that God is, you are. That's the truth. So you know what the lie is? I told you what the truth is. And to break through those barriers that you have created, you have to recognize, embody, and live in the truth of your oneness with God as a divine spiritual being. And that's why the 2024 affirmation that we're going to give is fundamental and foundational truth about our belief in any barrier. See, we all face barriers in life. You're not going to escape it. None of us are excluded. However, we each have to decide whether we're going to break through and move forward or choose to stay stagnant and stuck. It's your choice. So, I told y'all I want to talk real with you, right? So, let me share some of my stuff with you because this is real talk. See, I've been dealing with a particular barrier that I've been trying to break through. And when I say that I've been trying to break through it, it means that I've been trying to force myself to just take some action, take some steps, and push past the barrier and to do the thing that I need to do. But as I said to others, I had to say to myself, Sharon, how's that working for you? And I have to admit, the answer is not too great. I mean, on a couple of occasions, I actually did push through that barrier and do what I needed to do. But overall, I utterly and completely failed. That's the truth of it. Why did I fail? Because first, I didn't break through my barrier. I pushed on it. I leaned on it, and it gave some. And second, I had no process in place to help me recognize, observe, assess, process, and practice breaking through my barrier. See, the barrier that I've been dealing with, it manifests and it shows up as resistance. It shows up as me being unable to promote and put myself out there on social media. See, up until this year, I was completely unwilling to put myself on any social media platform. Now, don't get me wrong. I watch plenty of YouTube, Instagrams, TikToks, the reels, the posts. I'm on it. I just didn't want to see Reverend Sharon on it. This barrier never seemed to be a problem for me until we started Living Truth 365. And then this year, it's like social media. Where are y'all at? I don't see Living Truth 365 on any social media. But no matter what I did, I have always hidden in the background because that was where I felt comfortable, being out of sight and unnoticed. I didn't want to stand out, and I certainly didn't want to be up front where I had to be seen. I really wanted to be invisible. However, in today's world, for something new and unknown like Living Truth 365, to get any exposure and traction, it has to be seen. And we certainly need all the exposure and traction that we can get. So that means that the Revs, all 5 of us, need to be seen on social media platforms so that people not only know that Living Truth 365 exists, but they know who we are, what we believe as a spiritual center, and how to utilize the tools, the teachings, and the experiences that we share with you. Because I personally believe we got some good stuff going on here, and it does need to be shared. But if we don't get on that social media, ain't nobody going to know about it. So, writing this Journey and Truth lesson and putting this service and really our 2024 calendar together and the programs and events that we're looking forward to offering you guys, it gave me an opportunity to contemplate my barrier and how it manifests and shows up in my life. And I was able to connect another piece of the puzzle for myself. See, this barrier also shows up with me being resistant to taking pictures.
No.
This barrier also shows up as me being resistant to taking pictures. I'm admitting it. Doesn't matter what kind of picture or what the event may be. My first response is resistance to doing it. I had to think back to recognize that I took pictures after the World Trade Center buildings fell because I was part of the recovery team there the second day that the buildings fell. And I have a book full of pictures of the buildings, the workers, my co-workers, everybody else standing around the falling debris in the buildings. But I don't have one picture of myself for that historic event. And I was there from the second day until the last body was pulled out. And then I returned 2 days later and was there for a year and a half. And I don't have one picture of me. I could say I was there, but where the picture at, Reverend Sharon? Because everybody's saying, I was there. I don't have a picture. I even had to recognize that it's been a source of frustration for Reverend Terry because I rarely allow him, much less anybody else, to take pictures of me. I would put my hand across my face to prevent him or anybody else from getting a shot. Or I would turn around and walk away or not go when they called me to come on and take a picture. I recognize and understand that this barrier is a repeating pattern for me. And if I don't break through it, it's going to continue to manifest and show up, affecting not only my personal life experiences, but it's going to affect Living Truth 365. And that's where I have to put it into it. See, the Revs and I have each committed to doing the work and breaking through our own barriers. And I'm going to tell on y'all because they gave me permission. Reverend Andrea wants to break through self-worth, which is showing up as a lack of self-care, second-guessing herself, and a lack of a loving relationship. Reverend Jada, she wants to break through the fear of success, which is showing up for her as laziness, self-sabotage, and procrastination. Reverend Jocelyn, she wants to break through being inauthentic, which is showing up for her as dimming her light around others, people-pleasing, and self-doubt. And Reverend Terry, he wants to break through his barrier of mismanagement of time, which is showing up as missed deadlines, frustration, and feeling overwhelmed. Living True family and friends, the power to break any barrier dwells within you. You have to recognize it. You have to be willing to break through it and be willing to do your work. Breaking through your barriers allows you to find your voice and to walk in a freedom you never thought was possible. I want you to break through your barriers and discover your divine and true authentic self. I want you to break through your barriers and discover who God created you to be. I want you to break through your barriers and live your life on purpose. I want you to break through your barriers and to live your life without limits. Ah! Break through your barriers. And so it is. So it is. All right, Reverend Drew, come on up. Feel some kind of way. I'm saying. Talking about barriers. All right, guys. Shake it out. Shake it out. I know y'all tight. Reverend Sharon was stepping on toes and calling everybody out. I know you're tight. Loosen it up. Loosen it up, because I felt it too. Goodness gracious. Woo! That was something else. Hi-ya! So, we understand why we're here, right? We're ready to start breaking through those barriers. We're ready to have the life that we want and that we deserve, that is ours by divine right, simply because you exist, right? So we are going to get started now to prepare ourselves to break those barriers. We understand what Reverend Sharon said. She made it very clear. She stepped on our toes and let us know that, yes, we each have barriers that we need to break through. So we are going to go through a process now that's going to help us get ready, spirit, mind, and body, right? Because we are threefold beings. And what we recognize is sometimes there's a barrier mentally, and it affects us physically, or vice versa, because everything is connected, all three. So we need to do the work of clarifying ourselves, cleansing ourselves, understanding who we are, understanding and exploring and examining what's going on within ourselves, and then allowing ourselves the ability to be open to receive the guidance from Spirit, right? So that is the process we are going to get ready to go through now. So I'm just going to let you know what's going to happen. So we are going to do a breathing exercise that's going to help to cleanse our spirit, mind, and body. Then we're going to do some tapping, some EFT. We're going to do that, right? So we can go ahead and energetically move those blockages away. So we can really now then sit with the meditation. So we can listen to what Spirit has for us. So we can clearly know what those barriers are that we need to start with. So we're going to go through that process now. Okay? I want you all to reach underneath your chairs. Each of you have a crystal attached to a clipboard. I need you all to grab that crystal out of that bag. You can put everything else back underneath your seat. We just need that crystal. So the crystal that you all have in your hands is sodalite. Sodalite, sodalite. It's a crystal that helps with clarifying, with opening ourselves up, with helping to understand our intentions for ourselves. That's why we chose that stone for you. What I want you all to now do is sit on the stone. Sit on it. Sit on it. Sit on the stone. Sit down, sit down. Sit down on it. Sit down on it.
See, because this is where we are going to get our grounding and our clarification, right? So we're sitting on it because it's close to that root chakra, right? So that's why we're sitting on this stone. We don't need anything in our hands that's going to be distracting us, so we don't have to hold the stone. You're sitting on it. You are going to be receiving that frequency, that vibration, and that energy from that soda light, right from that root chakra, right? Supporting us all the way through. Does everybody have their stone? Does everybody see? Does anybody need a stone before we get started? Anybody not have a stone? This gentleman right here. Do we have? I think there's Reverend Sharon in the basket. Just sit down on your stone, girl. That's all. Just sit down on your stone. So again, it's really all about our opportunity now to get grounded, to stay grounded, remember our connection to the divine and to truth, and allow ourselves to get the clarity and the wisdom and the enlightenment we need in order to break those barriers. So I want you all now to just gently close your eyes. We're going to go through a breathing exercise that's going to allow us to cleanse our spirit, mind, and body. So I want you to go ahead and put your hand on your heart and your other hand on your stomach. And when you're breathing in and out, I want you to feel the rise and fall of your chest and of your belly. I want you to fully inhale and fully exhale and release all of the air out of the body. That's how we're going to be cleansing. So let's begin. Let's breathe in slowly, feeling the rise and the expansion of your chest and your stomach, and slowly release. Again, fully fill your body with that much needed breath, that air, that wind, and release. One more big, full, deep breath in. Expand your diaphragm, fill your lungs, fill it all the way down to your toes. And slowly release. And now I just want you to continue to breathe at your own pace, at whatever is comfortable for you, whatever is natural for you, however deep or shallow it needs to be for you. Stay connected to that breath. This breath is so important. In ancient Aramaic, the word is ruha. Ruha stands for wind, for breath, and for spirit. The same word is used for all three because we're constantly connecting with our breath, with who we are. Our connection to divine mind, to divine wisdom. And this breathing allows us to release any of the toxins that may have built up in our bodies. When we exhale, we are exhaling that stale air. And when we breathe in, we are inviting in peace. We are inviting in wisdom. We're inviting in divine love and divine creativity. When we're breathing in and out, we are allowing for truth. So feel that breath. Feel it clarifying you. Feeling it allow everything that is unnecessary, unneeded, to be released with that exhale. Feel your heart space opening up. Feel the mental clarity begin. Allow yourself to connect with the wisdom and guidance of the universe. Stay connected and focused to your in-breath, to your out-breath, and the space in between. The space where all possibility and potentiality exists. The space where love, compassion, and kindness resides. The place where abundance and prosperity is yours. The space that is barrier-free. We're going to take just a couple of more cycles of breathing. About 20 more seconds. Ten more seconds. 5 more seconds. You may release your hands back into your laps and gently open your eyes. All right. I feel it. I feel it already. It's a clarity moving through. So now that we have begun that clarification process, we're going to continue with EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, or what people call tapping. Tapping. So tapping is a mind-body therapy that draws on the traditions of Chinese medicine, the practice of acupuncture, and it's used today as a self-help approach, and it involves tapping key acupressure points on the hands, the face, and the body with your fingertips while focusing on those uncomfortable feelings or concerns and using positive affirmations to neutralize those feelings and releasing it and allowing your body, those energy centers, to fully wake up and alive and move and release any blockages. So I want to show you, these are the points that we're going to be working with in our body. So you could take 2 fingers or 3 fingers, it's up to you. Any 2 fingers or 3 fingers, if you want to do it. First place we're going to tap is going to be that third eye, right? Whenever you tap, it's only 3 taps you need to do. Okay? The next one is going to be the front of your eyebrow, right? The next one is going to be the outside of your eye. Then it's going to be under your eye. Then above your lip, below your lip, your clavicle or collarbone, under your arm, and then the fatty part of your hand. Okay? So we're going to move through that, and I'll be up here so you all can follow me. And we're going to say this affirmation 3 times. We're going to say this affirmation as we tap 3 times in each part of our body. We're going to take our time to do it. We're going to focus on this affirmation. I focus my mind and receive clarity, right? We want to continue clearing ourselves so that we can really and truly understand the barriers that we're ready to break through. Okay? So are we ready? Yes. All right. Together. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Outside of your eye, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under your eye, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Your nose, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under your lip, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Your clavicle, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under your arm, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Your hand, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Okay, stop for a moment. There's a frequency and vibration and an energy to it, and I want you all to really be intentional about doing this exercise. So we did it once, right? This was our first time we did it. So we know what to expect now. So let's do it this second time with intention to make sure that we get that focus and that clarity that we need. Ready? Let's begin. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Front of the eye. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Outside of the eye. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under the eye. I focus my mind and receive clarity. Above the lip. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Below the lip. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Clavicle, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under the arm, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Your hand, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Okay, last time, let's keep the momentum going. The middle of the forehead. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Front of the eye. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Outside the eye. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under the eye. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Above the lip. I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Below the lip, focus my mind and I receive clarity. Clavicle, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Under the arm, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. Hand, I focus my mind and I receive clarity. And so it is. Feel that energy, feel that energy, feel that energy, feel that energy, feel that energy. We have worked on clearing our spirit, mind, and body, allowing ourselves to be open to the wisdom and guidance of spirit. Open and ready. Open and ready. And now, what we're going to do is get those clipboards out. And you all have a Sharpie to use, and you have that yellow paper to write on. So we're going to go into a meditation, and then we're going to flow into writing the barriers, that clarity that we're receiving from spirit, right? We're going to go into this meditation so that we can go ahead and write down clearly those barriers that we want to work on. Openly, freely, there's no judgment. Nobody else is looking at your barriers. It's just you, it's yours. So we're going to start first. Just gently close your eyes. Gently close your eyes. And I want you to really focus and feel how your body is feeling, how your mind is feeling, how your spirit is feeling. from when you came in here earlier to now. How you have moved some of the distractions out of the way. And you've gained some clarity and some focus. How you have opened up your spirit, mind, and body to receive the wisdom and the knowledge and the guidance from Spirit. I want you to feel that energy and move through that energy. And only when you feel clear enough do you open yourself up and begin writing down the barriers that you want to work on. 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter how many, but with clarity and focus. Only you know what they are. And only you know when you're ready. We will mind the time. And when I see that everybody's about ready, you will hear the 3 chimes again to know that this portion of our service is completed.
So we're going to have some assistance with the revs and the pulpit assistants. They're going to be spraying your hands with Florida water, which is a healing cologne. Because we're going to heal your hands so you can do your work. And we know that the number 4 represents the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. So just rub your hands together. Give it some energy. Bring your hands up to your face. Breathe in. As you set your intentions to break the barriers in 2024. Nothing holding you back. Your hands are strong. They're there to do the work. Because it's time to do the work. Breathe in the fragrance. Let it move through your body. Place your hands over your heart. We're setting our intentions here. Think of those intentions that you have. But you want to break through this year. Have everything that you need within you. In your hands are the instruments. You're going to symbolically break through today. But you're going to be breaking through all year. Because you deserve everything this universe has to offer. It's time to break through. Nothing holding you back. Your hands are ready to do the work. Set those intentions. But it is time to do the work. Love this quote by Saint Cyril. We perform actions with our hands. Wash our hands is the nearest thing to purifying our deeds. So it is. You can turn it up a little, Terry. Reverend Terry. Turn it up a little bit. Good day. And namaste. We can go to our dreams, right? Yes. Yes, we're releasing. We're breaking through those barriers, right? You grounded yourself. Reverend Dre. You focused and gained clarity. Reverend Dre. Reverend Jada walks you through the purification of your hands, symbolizing the work that we all are committing to do here in the next year. Come on, Bart. So with me, we are intention set. What I want you to do, go underneath your chairs, and you can grab the boards if you already don't have it. You can put your clipboards in front of you. You'll pick them up very shortly. Help your neighbor if they can't get it. Just push it up to the front. I don't even have a mic. I'm sorry. No mic. Everybody take a deep breath with me. And release. Let's take a breath again. And release. No. Let's take a breath again. And release. Yes. I feel the energy in the room. All right. The next step. We're finally going to write on these boards here. I want you to pick up your notebook, your notepads, please. And I want you to listen to my instructions before you begin to write, because we are setting intentions. There's going to be two things you write on the board. The first thing you're going to write is what you wrote on that paper. You're going to transfer the barriers that you are breaking in 2024. Reverend Sharon told my business, not being authentic. Dimming this great light you see in front of others. People pleasing, saying yes when I mean no, saying no when I mean yes. And self-doubt. All this love I'm receiving from you, I'm giving it right back to you. before you start writing on your boards, I want you to write this as perfect as you can. When Moses went up to the mountain, he had to write it with the finger of God. That means with perfection. Hey. Hey. Before he came back down and broke them things the first time, he wrote with the finger of God. We know in metaphysics, God is not man nor woman. Finger of God means perfection with intention, no mistakes. So the first side, I want you to write your barriers. On the second side, you're going to write our 2024 affirmation. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there are no barriers in me. First side, your barriers. The next side, there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there are no barriers in me. Let's go. Feel that energy. You just use to energize that board. These are your barriers that you are committing and willing to break in 2024. Push them all away so you can go on. We're going higher and higher, y'all.
And what that does is it says a number of things. Sometimes it's a greeting. It says hello. Sometimes it's an affirmation that, yes, I accept what you're saying. It means patience. It means I'm going to give my best. It has a number of meanings. So I'm going to talk to you today about these boards. You've watched the ministers up here talking, and now we're going to see which of you are ready to break your own board. How many of you think you can break a board? Come on, raise them up. Woo, I got a few of them that think they can raise them. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, and we're gonna walk through this. There we go. So that's me when I had a lot of hair. I think I took that picture from my graduation when I was in high school. I was 17 years old. And this particular certificate is when I took my brown belt test and got a certificate from the headquarters from Japan, Kyokushinkai. 1975, almost 50 years ago. And just to give you a little bit more history about me, I kept having to start over again. I went to one school, one karate school, it closed. When I changed, had to start back over again. And I think I did that about 4 times. And finally, when I was in my 50s, I joined a school, went all the way through and got the black belt that you see that I'm wearing now. So that was a very long journey for me. And as part of what I needed to do, Reverend Sharon, can you just take a look and see if you can find my bat there? It's over by the chairs. So in terms of breaking things, with my test, there were a number of things that we had to do, and it was like an all-day test. We started out kind of like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we had to do all kinds of exercises, punching and kicking, and kind of at the culmination of it, I had to break this bat with my shin. So it was a kick that kind of went something like this, and I broke the bat. So those of you that think that you can't break the board, I can tell you that you can, especially one, you've got the physical strength to do it. The question is whether you believe that you can. You see, board breaking is actually a spiritual practice, and it's something that martial artists have been doing for centuries. What it does is it helps you to break through barriers, the barriers of your mind as you break through the physical barrier of the board. Now, I've seen where people have broken 2, 3, 4, or 5 boards. I've seen where people have broken through ice, where the ice has been basically a foot thick, and they've been stacked as tall as I am. They have a space between them, but they're stacked as tall as I am, and the person's jumped up and come down with a knife hand and broken them. Not going to ask you to do anything that dramatic. It's going to be one board. And so when we're recognizing our oneness with our bodies and our minds, there's something in Japanese that they have that they call Zen Ken Ichoa. Mind, body are one. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, they call this part the blade, shito. That's how it's pronounced in Japanese. Or you can do it with a closed fist, where you use the fleshy part of your hand. That's called tatsui, hammer fist. You're going to raise your hand up, either open or close, and then come down in the middle of the board and break it. So for those of you that are willing to do it, what we're going to ask you to do is to sign a release. So Reverend Terry ain't crazy, but the reason for the release is that, you should be able to do this and there shouldn't be a problem. But if anything does come up, we don't want to get sued, plain and simple. So this is something that if you're going to do it, make sure that you're comfortable with doing it. Nobody's like got your arm behind your back and twisting you to break a board. This is something that you want to do. And really there shouldn't be any problem with it. The only time that you might have a problem with it is if you've injured your hand already and you're going to re-injure it, or perhaps if you've gotten to a stage in life where your bones are brittle. But beyond that, if you follow the instructions that I give to you, there should not be a problem. So if you're going to do this, I'm going to ask you to take out your release, to fill it out, sign it, and then when it's time for you to come up, you're going to give it to me or you're going to give it to Reverend Jada.
Everybody have a release if you want it. Last page enough. On your clipboard. I'm looking for the
Yeah, I'm going to get up in a second. You don't have, do you want one? All right, so here's the steps that we're going to follow. The first thing is that if you have any jewelry on the hand that you're going to be using to break the board, I want you to take it off. So if you've got like a ring or watch, bracelets, anything like that, take it off. And then what you're going to do is you're going to raise your hand above your head, come down, hit the board. Now you're not going to hit at the board, you're going to go through the board. Just like with the barriers that you're working on breaking, you're not going to try to just hit the barrier, you want to go through the barrier. Okay? You can, we're not, yeah, I mean, if you do it with your fist, it'll be on the side with the fleshy part. All right, so I'd like a volunteer, Karen. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your board here. And before you do that, let's do our affirmation that we've got up on the screen. Well, all together. I focus my mind and move my energy to break through all barriers. Okay, so place it down. Doesn't matter. And so you can kind of do like a little bit of practice like they do on golf to kind of like get the feel of it. Hand over the head. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're going to do something that they call kiai. Now we talk. You listen to people in Chinese and they call it qi, which really is a mispronunciation of it. The Chinese don't pronounce it that way. That's something we do because of the way that it's spelled. It's really qi. So it's the C and the H is kind of like breath. So you're going to use your qi, and you can kiai or shout. Don't cuss. But when you're coming down, that will help you to focus your energy on the board and go through it. So whenever you're ready, take a few practice chops, and then when you're ready, go on through it. Right, so you want to take your thumb and just fold your thumb in like that, okay? And just like a blade, like a knife. And you're going to hit it with this fleshy part here.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, all the way through.
Go through. All right. All right, let's start from the back. And anybody that's willing in the back row. Okay. That's everybody?
You want to hit the floor. Don't hit the board. You want to break through the floor. I want you to put your energy like you're going to hit the floor. You got it. Miracle. Green.
You can raise your hand back and come down on. So this foot forward. You're going to come with your fist. You're not going to stop here. You don't have to move it down here. And yes, y'all, when you do it, loud as you can.
Let it go, Sailor.
Okay, so first of all, give me something. Now, to any of you that did not break a board today that think you may want to do it later on, we're going to be doing this again. So you have an opportunity to come back, and even if you've done it, you can still break it a second time, just to show yourself that you can do it. But the thing that you'll find is, who was it that had trouble breaking the board initially? Joan, I think it was. Did it hurt more when you couldn't break it or when you went through? Which one hurt more? Right. And that's what happens in our lives when we attempt to do something, when we try to break through barriers and don't really have the full commitment behind it to break through. It hurts more when you hit that barrier and try to stop instead of when you go all the way through it. So just remember, if you're working through whatever barriers it is you're trying to break through, you're not trying to hit the surface. You got to go deep. You got to go deep and past where it is that you're aiming for to break through, to have that momentum and that energy to help you do what you need to do.
Let me tell you how excited I am. Y'all did great. Give yourself another round of applause. And I don't think I got high fives from the front. I was high fiving everybody else. I need a high five from the front. I need a high five from the front. Yes. All right. All right. That is wonderful, guys. And we are thankful that you all are here, that you brought your energy, your frequency, and your vibration, and that you trust us enough. Yes. That you trust us enough to walk with you through this process. It was absolutely wonderful to see. So we're going to keep this going, guys, into 2024. 2024 is all about breaking our barriers, all about the breakthrough to break to whatever it is you want to accomplish, whatever it is you want to have, whatever it is you want to be. So we're doing this. Okay, guys. So, I'm still, y'all, I couldn't stop moving, right? Because y'all brought me such wonderful energy, and I'm excited for what we have planned. I'm excited to see you all accomplish the goals and achieve the visions and dreams that you have for yourself. I see it already. Please accept it, because I see it for each and every one of us. Okay, so what I want you to do, we have charged for you guys as we keep moving through. So what I would like you to do is continue that tapping exercise, continue to do some cleansing, breathing, continue to get that clarity and that focus so that with each step we take, it's clearer, it's easier to see. I want you all to do that. Please continue the tapping. If you have questions, let me know. We'll put that image up on the website so you all can see the different points to do the tapping, but that's going to help keep that energy and keep you breaking barriers.
And remember that your hands symbolize an action tool. So that when you cleanse your hands, you're purifying your deeds.
I'm standing on business on this one, y'all. I want you to be intentional, and I want you to be willing to break those barriers for 2024. In every action that you make, every decision, that yes or no, that is your intention. Put that good intention, that divine intention behind it, because we're breaking barriers here in 2024.
So my charge to you is to remember what it was like if you broke a board today, what that feeling was. Take the boards home with you, hang on to them, bring them back here for the January 13th Journey and Truth service that we're going to have, because we've got something special planned for you to do with it.
All right, it's real.
Little sweet.
So here's my desire for you. And again, this day for me has been about real talk. I want to tell you that for over, I'm going to say, it's been a year since we've seen this space this full. All through 2023, sometimes it's just been the revs. Jeremy has shown up faithfully every single Sunday. Ife has come just about every time that we open the doors. And KK has come in these doors, and sometimes it's just been us. And that's a little bit disheartening, because I opened this center feeling that we had something to offer, and that what we offered was different than what any other place you could go to offered. And I do believe that that's what we do here. I think we put our hearts, we put our soul, we put our energy, we put our love, we put our vibration, we put our time and our patience into this space. So while it does me, my heart is filled to see this space filled. I'd like to see it continue for 2024. Because I'm going to be honest with you. if it doesn't continue to be full and you don't come out to support us, it's honestly going to make me think that maybe I am on a different path and this is where I should be. So I'm talking real talk to you today, and the Revs don't know anything about what I'm saying for the first time. Because we've been doing this for 7 years. And it's like, where are the people? We got something to give them. Do they want to change their lives? Do they want to break their barriers? Do they want to live life abundantly every day in every way? We're trying to tell them what to do. They're complaining everywhere I turn, but where they at? Ain't nobody coming in the doors. So I'm just being real with y'all, because I want to leave this behind in 2023 and start 2024 with a whole fresh new vision. And for me, the vision, it looks just like this. So that means I'm looking for you to come through the doors. I'm looking for you to stop watching us on Bedside Baptist. I'm looking for you to come in and support us, the way that we support you. Because for many of you, when you pick that phone up and call Reverend Sharon, she's there. But I see many of you walk through these doors to support us the same way. And again, I'm just being real. So I'd like to see you come in and support us, because we do this out of love. We do this because we believe in it. We do this because of you. So I just want to tell you, make 2024 your year to begin to break the barriers and live life without limits, because it is possible. I know it's possible. I've done it. I believe in it, and I believe you can do it. I want to tell you again, thank you for coming out today. I love you all. From the bottom of my heart, I love each of you, and I think you all know that. So thank you. So I want us to repeat our closing affirmation together, because this is the affirmation that I want you to use all of 2024. It's so important. It's on your boards. You use it to break through your boards. It's going to carry us all through 2024. So I want this to be like drilled into your mind, drilled into your subconscious, to the point that I don't care what anybody puts before you. You'll simply be able to tell them with no thought, that's not a barrier, because there's no barrier in me, because there's no barrier in God.
No weapon.
Let's repeat this together 3 times. And I want you to stand up. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want us to repeat this together. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Again, there are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. Take a breath. And I want you to really take this in, because this is the truth, y'all. It's the truth about you, whether you believe it or not. Say it again. There are no barriers in God. Therefore, there can be no barriers in me. And so it is. And so it is. Go forth.